Hi there! Welcome to a new video on the Sugaridoo channel. My name is Irene and Sugaridoo is all about happy crafty projects for quilting and crochet. And today I'm going to start on my tree house quilt. And in the next few weeks I'm going to show you my progress. And today will be all about the pattern design that I did and the fabrics, and I'm going to start cutting all the fabrics. Previous videos and on Instagram I've already shown sneak peeks of the design of the quilt, and now I finalized it and I've chosen all the fabrics and the colors. So here's the design from Electric Quilt 8 where I designed this quilt. It is going to be 70 by 90 inches, so I guess that's called a twin quilt or a single quilt. I just want it to be big enough so I will fit snugly under it, under a couch, or it will go over a one-person bed. The size of the blocks will be 10 by 10 inches. I'm also planning to make a baby quilt size in the pattern, so then I'm going to scale down the blocks a bit, and of course there will be less blocks than in that quilt. But in this quilt there are it's 7 blocks wide and 9 blocks long, so that makes 63 blocks in total that I'm going to make. And in centimeters the quilt is going to be 175 wide and 225 2 meters 25 centimeters high. Yeah, so that's the measurements of the quilt. And 2-3 weeks ago I got the fabrics in the mail, so then I already started cutting. So let me show you what I did. I ordered some fabrics from this fabric line. It's called Foundation and I really love these fabrics, and I just ordered it online at a Fat Quarter shop because I wanted to make the quilt for myself, and then when I'm loving it and when it turns out perfectly I will order these fabrics at a wholesale so I can make some kits for you and sell those kits with the pattern when it comes out, if you're interested, of course. So these are the fabrics that I got in. I ordered some white fabrics with a geometric print in light gray, which is going to be the background. And then I ordered 4 shades of greenish colors, a little bit more blue greenish. And these are going to be for the trees. And then I also selected 2 orange colors and 2 yellows and 2 pink ones, and those will be for the houses but also for the trees. So I'm also going to make a few trees in these colors. I'm really loving this color palette, so I can't wait to see how this is going to look in a big quilt. Today I'm going to start cutting the fabrics. I actually already started during our last bee. I started cutting some fabrics. I've already cut the gray for the stems of the trees, normally the brown part of the tree, but I'm going to make that in gray. Yeah, just to give it a more modern feel in the quilt. And I already started cutting this light green for the trees. And I made a list. So I made a list of things I need to do for the quilt. This is just my project book. And also I counted in my design, which I made in Electric Quilt 8. I colored it in with my fabric colors. And there I counted how many parts of each tree I need in which colors. So I have that over here. So now I can just count this and start cutting. And I printed one of the blocks. This is the block with 2 trees. I've printed that and cut it so that I can use it as a template. For the long tree I will use this one, and then I will just look at my list and start cutting. Yes, so I already made quite some progress on the cutting. So I've cut all the tall trees, and now I still need to cut all the smaller trees, and I also need to cut a lot of background pieces. So that's what I'm going to do today. And a fun thing to tell you that my sister-in-law couldn't wait for me to finish the pattern of the quilt. So she already started making a baby quilt from just the picture that I showed her. It's so cute. So I'm definitely going to include a baby version of the quilt in the pattern when it's finished. So what's left to do for me now? I am going to start cutting with the smaller trees, and I really hope that I do have enough fabrics. Because I made the quilt even a little bit bigger after I ordered all the fabrics. Yeah, but hopefully, probably it is going to be enough fabric for everything. Yeah, so there we go. I'm just going to start cutting again. Before I start cutting, I always print my pattern on just normal printing paper. And I cut that up as templates. So here I have the block, and I do need to check if it's printed in the correct size. Here. That was not printed in the correct size. And I am definitely sure that in the computer program it is 10 inches, but now it's printed only 9.5 inch. So things that can go wrong is that when you press print, then the selection is not printed true size, so that it's scaled down a little bit. But for me, I know I've already checked that because I had problems with this, and this means that I didn't select the right printer driver. I was searching for the problem why my printer wasn't printing correctly. So if you run into this problem, you can try to reinstall your printer driver or reinstall your complete printer, because now I selected the wrong one. Let me reprint this. There we go. Good thing I don't do live television. That would be the worst. Yes, so now I measure it's exactly 10 inches. So I just had to select the other printer installment. Yep, so now I can paste this one together and start cutting to get my paper templates. So I like to write down on my pattern pieces what block is it for, because these background pieces look a lot like the ones I've already printed, but these ones are for the tall trees blocks, and this is the smaller tree block. So I'm just going to write down small because it's a block with 2 small trees. Let me check my book to see how many trees we need. Here we have my pink fabrics. Yes, pink fabrics, small tree, 1 of each. And yellow fabrics, 1 small tree of each. So here I'll just stack all these fabrics on top of each other and then cut the tree at once. It's just a bit more efficient. Not that quilting needs to be efficient though, but for me the sewing part is the most fun, so I love to make the cutting a bit more efficient. But I was thinking about it lately that I often do things to speed up the process. But quilting is actually for fun and just for me time, right? So maybe I should focus less on speeding things up and just enjoying working with these pretty fabrics and enjoying the process as well. But here we go. Here we have 6 fabrics and 1 tree. I'm going to use my rotary cutter. There we go, 1 small tree of each. And then from the green fabrics, let's see, we have green, green, green and bluish green. I need 6 from this one. And also 6 from this green. It's a symmetrical shape, so it doesn't matter if I use it like this or use it like this. So it doesn't matter if I put the template on the wrong side or the right side of the fabric. I can just stack the fabrics and cut it. And there we go. So that is 6 small trees for each. And there's even some fabric left over, which is a good thing, because hopefully that means that I'm also going to make it with this fabric, because I need 9 little trees from these ones. These fabrics are not so similar, so I'm just going to cut that one by one. Eight, and one more. Yay, it fits. That's 9. So it does fit, but in the kit I'm going to include a bit more, because you do have some scraps left. But if you mistake and cut one tree wrong, then you don't have any left over. So in the kit I'm definitely going to include more. Seven. 8, and the last one. 9. Also this one made it. That is nice. So that are 9 small trees from both of them. Yes, I've cut all the trees. So now it's time to cut all the background fabric for everyone. So I almost finished cutting everything, but I only have these pieces of backing fabric left. So I really have too little backing fabric. So I'm going to cut this for the final pieces that I need. So I can already start making blocks, but I do have to order more backing fabrics. I ordered 5 yards of backing fabric. So I guess this quilt just needs a lot of backing fabric. And that's the last one I can cut from this fabric. So I've almost cut all the background fabric for the trees. So this one was also finished, and for this one only 2 pieces are missing, 3 pieces are missing, and 2 pieces are missing. And then for the trees, that's everything, so I can make a lot of tree blocks already. And for the houses I do need some backing fabric, so I guess 1 more yard will definitely do it. Yeah, so that means I've cut everything for the trees. I'm also going to wait with cutting the houses until the extra backing fabric is in. So then now I'm going to assemble piles for all the blocks. So I have a color printed pattern, so that I know which colored trees are going to go where. And since the blocks are designed as blocks of 2, so you have to know on forehand which trees which colors you're going to combine in each block. That could be a thing though, to change in the pattern. It will be easier maybe if you have separate trees in the quilt, so that each tree is its own block, so that you can first make the trees and then arrange them the way you want to. Well, that does mean cutting a lot more fabric pieces and sewing together a lot more blocks. I think I'm just going to leave it this way. So the only thing is that when you want to follow the pattern exactly, and when you want to make all the colors in this way, you need to be careful for the order of the colors. So I just laid out all my colors for the trees, and I'm going to pick my fabrics, let's see, in the right order. I'm going to put them right side down, so then when I'm going to sew the block, I can just flip the pile and assemble the blocks. And then a center block, center piece, light pink, and this is going to go on a pile of fabric blocks that I'm going to make. So this is what I'm left with. Piles and piles of blocks that I can start sewing together. So that's all the fabric that I'm going to cut today. I'm out of background fabric, so when that comes in I'm going to cut the other blocks. So I guess I only have the 9 house blocks left and about 3 or 4 tree blocks, but all the other blocks, so that's nearly 50 blocks, I can already start sewing. So I guess I'm going to do that the next day I'm in the studio. This is the vlog for this week about the tree house quilt project. I hoped you liked it and that it gave you a little insight about my structure of how I start cutting into fabrics for a new project. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you next week. Bye bye!